The injury that changed everything. This is a story that every dancer goes through. Here's mine. So back when I was in college, I won a scholarship to go to the Ailey School for a summer intensive. And it was a very exciting time. I had been in New York previously before for a summer intensive at Ballet Hispanico. This was my second time in New York. I was really excited. But right at the beginning of the program, I was hit with some terrible news of the passing of my grandmother back home in Trinidad. And unfortunately, due to financial constraints, I was not able to go back home. So it now put a very different spin on this really exciting experience, because even though it was exciting and I was happy to be there, I now had a lot of mixed emotions of missing this time with my family. So it now became something in my mind that was something that I could not fail at. I could not fail at this thing, because it meant that I would have risked all of this in terms of not being able to be with my family. And that was just something that was not an option in my mind. Fast forward to about 3/4 through the program, I remember going through rehearsal, sitting on the floor, taking notes after an intense rehearsal, and getting up off the floor, I suddenly had this pain in my groin. I didn't pay too much attention to it, got home, the pain started to get worse. And remember talking to my boyfriend at the time, and he said, hey, you should put some ice on it. And I was just like, I'm not putting ice on this. I'm putting some heat on it. If you're Trini, you know, right? And of course I put heat on it, and by the morning I could not stand straight. I was in so much pain. Now, if you're a dancer, you've had this moment of pure panic and fear where your stomach drops and you're thinking, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Like, does this mean that I can't dance? What am I gonna tell my teachers? All of this time that I took, all of the things, all of the emotions and the thoughts are racing through your head, because at that moment, everything that you care about is suddenly, in the blink of an eye, it's on the line. And I had to figure it out. So I remember looking around and thinking through, and the first thing that I thought was not necessarily that I needed to see a physical therapist, or I didn't have a person in mind, because this was my first major injury that I really needed somebody to like step in. All I remember thinking is that I need someone who gets me. I need someone who understands what I'm going through. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Fortunately, I was able to find that person at the Ailey School. They were able to help me, guide me through my rehab. I was able to finish a program, finish my solo that I was performing in, and I did what I set out to do. The scariest place for a dancer is to be injured, because suddenly in the blink of an eye, everything that you hold dear is on the line. And it's not just the injury, but all of the things are on the line. Your identity, your ability to perform. And for me, finding that person in the Ailey School was a life-changing moment. For me, not only was I able to perform my solo, but I was able to successfully finish my program. Now, so many dancers are going through this exact same experience with no real support on the emotional side of being injured. And because that role stayed with me, I know that rehab is not just about healing from an injury. It's about helping someone rebuild trust in their body. It's about being seen in the middle of uncertainty. It's about guiding someone back, not just physically, but mentally. And that's what I've built my work around. In building performance plus physical therapy, you're not just treated like an injury. You're supported like a performer going through one of the most difficult parts of their career, because your comeback isn't just physical, and you shouldn't have to go through it alone.